Good morning, all, and thank you so much for attending today's Solar Savers information session. We're really excited to have you here. We've also got our team from Specialised who are experts in this field, along with Anna from Solar Savers. So I'll hand over to them shortly, but just first a little bit of housekeeping. There are refreshments, water, tea, coffee, and some food at the back if you need anything. The bathrooms are just out near the lifts, and emergency exits out that way as well. The other thing is, if you don't want your photo taken, we do have a photographer here who'll be recording the session. If you just let Dan, who has disappeared, he's the one with the camera, let him know, or you can let me know if you can't find him. That's absolutely fine. I would also like to start today's session just with an acknowledgement of country. So Maroondah City Council, in the spirit of reconciliation, acknowledges the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation as traditional custodians of the land on which we are gathered today, where Indigenous Australians have performed age-old ceremonies. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. I will now hand over to Anna from Solar Savers, who will start off the presentation. And we look forward to everything that we've got to learn today. Thank you so much.
Hi. Welcome everyone. I'm Anna Inberger. I'm the program leader for Solar Savers. So we're a local government initiative and we're working across 19 councils in Victoria. So we help residents and businesses install solar PV systems and batteries. And we've just expanded recently to offer the electric heat pump hot water systems and split systems. So really helping the councils encourage the communities to electrify their homes or actually have an avenue for them, a pathway for actually to access that. And our program, we provide support and we oversee that installation process from the start through to the beginning. So if you have any queries, we're here to help you along the way. So why would you install with Solar Savers? Well, firstly, we're a council-supported program, and how we've selected specialised solar and electrical is through a public tender process. So through those tender processes, we vet...
I'm sorry.
You can't hear me?
No, that one there?
There we go. Is that better?
Yep. Yes, sorry.
All right, so we've selected specialised solar and electrical through a public tender. And when we went through that tender, we actually invite several solar companies to apply, and we vet them through and rate them through their quality of the products, their fair pricing, the OH&S for safe installations, the longevity, making sure they're going to be around for a long time, and negotiate longer warranties as well, because that's really important, and also the customer service, so actually having a really good experience, a customer journey. In addition to that, our program, I organise compliance audits. So 5% of all of installations, I organise separate audits to make sure that all the systems that are installed properly and according to regulations. Your systems are going to be on your roofs for like 20 to 30 years, so you need to make sure that they're done properly and safely as well. And I also do OH&S audits as well, so making sure that all the installers are actually behaving, installing safely on your property as well, and make sure that when they're on site, that no one is going to get hurt. And also along the way that we're a reliable point of contact, basically. So got a team that you can call or email any queries along the way. So that's why it's really important to come through the council program as well. Just going to now put you on to, or introduce you to Samira Hughes, and she'll be talking about specialised solar and electrical and how they can help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Like that, there is something that can we fly this round? We have that a little as well.
Thanks, Anna. Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank you all for joining us today to learn a little bit about the Solar Saves program. My name is Samira Hughes. I am the Chief Operating Officer of Specialised Solar and Electrical. I'd also like to introduce you to Raymond Hughes. He's our Director of Sales. He will be coming up shortly to take you through to learn a little bit about how solar works, the products that are available and on offer through the program. So that's just a little bit about us. So thank you so much for attending today. So let's start here. So who are we? So originally established in 1984, a part of the Specialised Heating and Cooling Group. So we are a family-owned business. We've got offices across, 6 offices across Victoria and New South Wales. So since the turn of the century, so going on 24 years now, we have helped thousands of households and businesses transition into that all-electric future. So going from gas to electric. So we help people reduce their energy bills and also reduce their carbon footprint. So we're really, really grateful to have assisted so many people through that all-electric future journey. Now, we don't just do solar, so we classify ourselves as electrification experts. Now, the reason is we do everything that encompasses electrification for you to transition. So through this program, we do have solar, batteries, heat pumps, split systems. So we've got a few different products on for offer, but we also do induction cooktops. We do switchboard upgrades. We do electric vehicle chargers, electric vehicle charging stations. And another reason is because we understand that it is difficult to transition into that all-electric future. So we basically become your partner for life. So, and we know that this doesn't happen overnight either. So we're here to assist you along the journey. And whether that takes, you can do something like this straight away, or it takes you 10 years, we help you through that process. Okay, so that is a little bit about us. So let's launch into it. A lot of the information that you're going to see on these slides is being obtained from Rewiring Australia. So there is a little source website at the bottom. If you haven't gone on Rewiring Australia before, it's got some great information. But some of this is where we pull this information from. So powering your homes and vehicles makes up 42% of our domestic emissions. The vast majority is coming from our cars, space heating and cooling, and your water heating. So this costs the average Australian household anywhere between $5,000 to $6,000 a year. And again, as I mentioned, these are non-essentials. These are things that we do require, heating and cooling, as well as our hot water at home. Now, fossil fuels aren't steady. They have been rising and increasing for the past 30 years, and they will continue to do so. So again, this is a graph that we've pulled from Rewiring Australia, and you can see, as I mentioned on the previous slide, we are spending anywhere on average between $5,000 to $6,000 on average a year. But if you have a look at this and you look, say, 30 years from now, you can see the average cost and that trajectory is taking us to close to $9,000. So it is quite significant. It is increasing, and we all know that that's the case. And these are all the issues that we're already facing today. So not even talking about the fact that we are looking at the population to double by 2050 as well, so in the next 30 years. So we're already having a look at things like high energy bills, lack of control, we've got lack of information. So we are very grateful to have these type of programs so we can actually give you information on different programs and how to electrify your home. Blackout protection. Now, we are facing blackouts. I know only about a few months ago, there was so many Victorians that didn't actually have any electricity for close to 3 weeks. So we are definitely feeling the effects of blackouts, high emissions and high price hikes. So there's quite a few that we're already facing when it comes to issues that we face today with energy. So what's the solution? It's definitely electrification. It's a smart, connected solar energy management system. So again, this is an image that we got from Rewiring Australia. This is basically an image of what we want to achieve when it comes to a full electric home. So you can see there's solar panels on the roof. You've got your hot water heat pump on the side of the home. You've got your split systems in the house, your induction cooktops. You've got the electric vehicle in the garage there. You've got your battery backup storage, and you are always connected to the grid. Okay, unless you do off grid systems, but with your home, you're usually connected to the grid. Now, lucky for Australia, we have access to the cheapest home energy in the world, and that is our rooftop solar. Now, again, this is from Rewiring Australia, so you can see that the grid electricity prices on average in Australia is close to that 28 cents. Now, this is actually a little bit a while ago. Now, we look at bills every single day. It's probably closer, if you're looking at your own bills, probably 35 cents. But you can see here the average there, the noting is 28 cents. But the cost of solar over the lifetime, Australia average is only 3 cents. So you can see there's such a big difference. And the ability to save just by putting solar on your roof, it's a very, very cheap way of utilising energy. When you're looking at water heaters, again, this is something that we do offer through the Solar Saves program, which is the hot water systems. But these are the prices that you'll see over the lifetime running costs for different types of heating systems, hot water systems in a home. So if you look at gas water heaters, it's looking close to the 3,600 mark. Electric heat pumps using the grid, 1,500. electric resistance using solar, 1,500, and then you look at your electric heat pump using solar, $400. So again, big savings, big difference by going all electric. Space heaters, again, gas heating, $4,770 on average. Your electric heat pump using the grid, $1,950, and going on to using solar, $1,420. So again, really significant savings. So saving from electrifying your home continues to grow. Just reflecting back on that graph that I showed you earlier. Now, this is a compounding effect of savings too, because our energy when it comes to fossil fuels, that price keeps rising. But if you do solar, which is that green line there, it's consistent and you're able to take control of that. Because it's having a relationship with your solar. A lot of people go to me, Samira, well, what's the return on investment when it comes to solar? The reality is, if you manage your energy usage, so how much you are producing and then consuming, you need to be able to consume that energy in your home. It's consistent and steady and you have full control of that because it's your own renewable energy source that's on your roof. So compounded effect within savings, and it's quite significant. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to invite Raymond, our Director of Sales at Specialised, to go through the next few slides. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to go through all the products and things like that and how solar works and how it affects the home and in a positive way. So as you can see, our graph that we've got over here is a very basic setup. There are three entities of a solar system. It's your panels, it's an inverter, and if you can, a battery as well. Panels are very simple. They just take the light that we have, photovoltaic. They just take the light that's out, convert it into energy, into DC current, and that runs down to your inverter, and your inverter will change that into AC current, which your house uses. Now, the reason why I say photovoltaic, if you look across the way, there's solar panels on the roof over there. Very simply, you do not need direct sunlight for those panels to switch on. That's just a perfect example. They will be producing energy all the way through until there's direct light on them. The house takes the energy first, and anything that overflows from there goes directly out to your grid. But if you've got a battery in the middle, it will capture that until it's full and burn it up. This is pretty much, this is how a battery works. So whenever you put solar onto your property, your house takes all the energy first. So we were talking about consuming your solar. So most people would challenge their habits a little bit. We call it being solar savvy. Very simply, your house takes all of the energy. Whatever excess is left over will trickle as if you're pouring, think of glasses. You can fill a glass up and the overflow gets caught by a battery. You will then fill that battery up. Once that battery is full, it will then overflow back out into the grid. So it's just a capturing device that allows you to capture sun, so you can use it at night. Okay. Efficiency products that we can use within the house. This is a split system. They use heat pump technology to absorb the ambient air to heat and cool your property. Split system air conditioners can achieve efficiencies of 300% to 600%. An easy way to think about this is for 1 unit of energy or for $1 that you spend, you're getting $3 back up to $6 back. So it amplifies the amount of energy, and that's where the efficiency comes in. So 1 unit of energy in, and you're getting anywhere between 3 and 6 units of energy back for your house. That's the efficiency rating. Gas heaters generally have this efficiency of around 75%, meaning they only convert 3/4 of the energy they consume. A reverse recycling can reduce your heating and cooling costs by 60 to 90%, depending on when and where you use it. Just to give you comparisons, this is a nice, simple way to see it. I know fans and electric blankets aren't exactly efficient things that warm or cool your house, but I just wanted to give you an idea of cost ratings there. If you run your fan, it costs you 2 cents an hour to run. If you do an electric blanket, that's 3 cents. Your heating and cooling through a split system or a HVAC is by far the most efficient way to heat and cool your house. And you can see that's 11 cents an hour. And then everybody's got their personal heaters, 20 to 45 cents, oil columns, 35 to 45 cents, and ducted heating up to $1.25. Okay? Heat pumps absorb named from, so this is the same thing. So this is just using that heat pump technology that we just explained for your heating and cooling of your property. We're just using it to heat your hot water. instead of using gas. So it does the same thing. It uses the warmth from the outside air and transfers that heat into the water, which then heats the water up. Heat pump water heaters are highly efficient. Use 30% of the energy of a conventional hot water system. Okay, one unit in, you're getting about 3, depending on which product you use, 3 to 5 units back into the water. A heat pump can reduce your water costs by 50 to 80%, sometimes even more. Okay, but that's a good average to work around. This is just a nice clear picture of what happens. It uses ambient air, energy in the air. The heat pump concentrates this heat. The cold water will go into the heat pump, heat the water up using this, and then transfer back to the top of the hot water system, heating from the top down. And it uses refrigerant for cold water by heat of exchange inside the compressor. Like I was saying before, the heated water fills in the storage tank from the top, and heat pumps turns off once all the heating is done. It is insulated, so it doesn't work continuously all day long, and the heat pumps that we offer can actually be set to work and coincide with your solar systems. So you, most of the time, you use the excess energy from the solar to cover the usage. So it's guilt-free usage, actually. Panels. We have 2 panels that we're offering through the Solar Savers program. We've got the JO solar panels. I just want to be clear, both of these panels are all black. They're beautiful. They look fantastic. Both of them are going to supply you with a 25-year warranty on it. So you will have a minimum of 25 years worth of energy out of it. And both of them are Tier 1 companies. If anybody ever explains Tier 1 to you, Tier 1 specifically means that the company has been vetted and they are financially stable. So they're not going anywhere. All right? Big importance as well about panels that get selected within the program, and for us personally, the companies need to have strong Australian presence. Okay? They must have offices within Victoria or New South Wales. And both of these do that. Where these panels differ is where the JR Solar is just a high-produced Chinese panel. The REC comes in slightly better efficiencies. Every panel needs a certain amount of energy to switch on, and the CEO, we call the RECs the CEO of panels, just because it turns on sooner, means less light to switch on, which means it will switch on earlier and it will last longer in those nice summer sunsets. But also, everything works on a great day. On the really good days, we want the energy a smaller footprint to produce a larger amount of energy, and that's where the REC beats the JA Solar, but both panels do exactly what they say on the tin. Okay?
Basically, where the REC is panel.
REC.
Where are they made?
Norway, and the factory is made in Singapore. So that's the route that they go through. Right. Anybody? It's a Norwegian company. Yes, it's mined out in Norway, all the minerals, and then that's created in Singapore. That's where the factory is based. Cool. Who wants to guess what the most important part of a solar system is? You got it. Inverter. It's the brains, the heart, and the soul of the operation. I want you to think of panels and batteries and electric vehicle chargers and split. All of those are just appendages to this wonderful system. There are 2 types, and both are fantastic that have been chosen to be part of this program. You generally get, I'll start with Sungrow. Sungrow is what we call a string inverter. So I want you to, I don't know if you guys remember the old Nokia 3310 mobile phones. They were renowned for being bulletproof, absolutely reliable, very simplistic, and easy to use. That was what made them fantastic. I likened that to the Sungrow, because that's pretty much what you're going to get from it. Bulletproof doesn't do it justice. It's very good at what it does. It's very simple and easy to use, but the caveat with its simplicity is that if you had to place the string down on the ground and you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels, it cannot distinguish panel 1, panel 3, or panel 5 from each other. So it sees all those panels as one solid panel. And what that means is if one panel is affected, they all are affected. So it's always working at the lowest panel's output. So that is the caveat to going with a string inverter, but it is absolutely reliable and it works fantastic. All right? The next set is, if the Sungrow was the Nokia, I would say, the Solar Edge is the new iPhones. Okay, it's done a very, very clever thing. They have taken an inverter and split the responsibility in two. So you'll have your normal inverter on the ground level, which you'll see over there. And it is by far the safest inverter that's out there. You have a button that you can turn in the middle, which will shut down all the energy from your panels all the way down to the ground to 1 volt touch safe. So if you want somebody to clean the panels, or you're looking for roof, or you need safety, or I don't know, if you're living a little bit out rural and there's a fire around it, you can turn that thing off straight away and off you go. Also, because it split the responsibility, the inverter on the ground focuses on safety. So it'll check the wire temperatures, arcing and sparking. It'll be able to monitor absolutely everything for you. Okay, so that's the cool part. The second thing that it does is it places an optimizer, which is the object right next to it. It places an optimizer behind every single panel. And it does exactly what its name suggests. It optimizes that panel to work at its maximum at all times. So now, if one panel is affected, it does, so they all work individually to themselves. If one panel is affected, only that panel is affected. Matter of fact, if one panel is affected, say it's dirty or it's covered by cloud shade or trees shading is passed over, it actually notifies all the other panels to say, listen, I'm down for a bit. I need you to pick up my slack. So it really does work incredibly hard through the panels. And more importantly, the way that most panel companies will rate their wattage is they'll test thousands of panels. They'll take the highest rating of that panel and they will call all the panels, let's say, 440 watts. Where with REC do the exact opposite. They will test thousands of panels. They will then choose the lowest wattage that has come out of that batch of testing, and that's what they will name the wattage of that panel, which means that you'll always have a positive. When you put the optimizers behind it, you will clearly state and see that if we sold you a 410 watt panel, it will always be pushing more than that, and you get that through the optimizers. Yes,
The difference in price between the
That's the caveat. The one caveat is for the Solar Edge is that we need to place an optimizer behind each panel. That's the only catch behind it. So out of the two, they both do exactly what they need to do, and we will obviously discover you and your property to see which one fits you best. But yes, the Solar Edge is slightly more than the Sungrow. That would be the caveat. Okay? And price depends on the size.
You can put
good in question. You can put optimizers on any inverter, but all it will do is separate those panels. It won't allow to push extra efficiency out of them, but you're still restricted by the simplicity of the inverter's technology. So it won't be able to directly work with third-party optimizers. So it means that it just splits the panels, but you won't get the energy efficiency or anything like that out.
Here's the chain.
That's the only thing it will address. Okay. Right, next we've got batteries. So there are 3 types of batteries that we use. I'm going to start off with the Tesla. I think the easiest way for me to say this is every battery comes with an inverter. Now, you're either going to have a battery-only inverter or you'll have a hybrid inverter that comes with that battery. So let's start off with your Teslas. If you've already got a solar system, you've had it for 5 years, and you've got an inverter and your solar system's working fantastically, we don't want to change that. When that comes into play, you can put a Tesla, and the Tesla has a battery-only inverter. That, very simply, it just means that its inverter or gateway will be able to chat with yours, any and every inverter on the market that will be able to chat to. It tricks that inverter to thinking that it's the grid, and then they chat and take complete control over it.
Is that integrate, operate? How did the integrate operate?
Integrate?
Yep. So your power is read by AusNet,
Yes.
and they say
Yes, it is.
you've got excess power.
Yes.
We'll stick it in your battery.
Yes. Yes.
They can make it regulate if it's a sunny day or a dark day.
Yes.
Do you have that system?
The Tesla does all of that work. So the Tesla actually monitors the weather that's out there. It'll be able to regulate. If it knows that there's not going to be much sun tomorrow, it'll if it has excess energy, it will hold on to that. There's a whole lot of suppliers out there now that it can chat directly to you, and in some cases even spun off extra energy for you. It is a very, very, very clever system. Matter of fact, all those batteries do the same thing. Okay,
You can have that with hot water.
you can have it with hot water. You can have it with your.
So instead of sending your power back to the grid, it sends to your hot water.
You got it.
If you've got the system like that,
All the systems do that. So
with the heat pump.
yes. So all that. So I'll get into that in a bit. Okay. So I'll get into what he was saying now. It's just asking, can we distribute the energy equally or distribute the energy across ways to the distributor and to other places? The answer is yes. So all of these batteries are able to do that. All these battery similarities are that all have a guarantee of storage after 10 years. Sungrow is 60% or plus after 10 years. The Tesla and the SolarEdge have a 70% or more storage capacity after 10 years, and they've got a 15-year lifespan. Okay. The Tesla will connect to any inverter out there. So if you've got an existing system already, I'll connect the Tesla to it. If you've got a Sungrow, you can either choose the Tesla or the Sungrow, whichever you prefer. Same with the SolarEdge. SolarEdge, you can either stick a SolarEdge battery onto it, or you can put the Tesla on. The difference is here is that this Tesla is 13.5 kilowatts out the box. A SolarEdge is 10 kilowatts out the box, and a Sungrow is modular. So if you are looking to grow your ease of use and you're looking to grow your battery stacks, I would go to Sungrow, as you can grow it in smaller increments of 3.2 kilowatts at a stack. Okay? Right, the next we've got is hot water heat pumps. Now, hot water heat pumps are a great way to heat your water up efficiently. So like I was saying earlier, you get anywhere between 1 unit of power in gives you 3 to 5 units of energy into your water. You were talking about we call it a thermal battery. Okay? So what that means is instead, let's say you can't afford the battery at this stage, which is fine, okay? So you can't afford the battery at this stage. What else can I do to use my excess solar in the hubs? We will then suggest to do your hot water system, because you will remove a hot water system. You'll reduce your gas bill there by 50 to 80%, as we said from Rewiring Australia. We will then have your hot water system tied to work off your peak solar energy, and any excess energy that you have will then heat your hot water up. And that's where you would alter and use your excess solar in different ways.
It's just a question with the heat pump. So basically, it works up storing the warmth from outside, like the smell, the winter, which you for about region, but there is some hot, but
So it doesn't use the ambient air to heat the water. It doesn't use the ambient air to heat the water. So what it does is, it's a long explanation. Do you want me to give it to you afterwards, and then just let me finish, and then we can chat about it? Because I'll get into it. But I don't want to waste too much time on that. Okay, so very simply, this is a very efficient way to heat and cool. To heat your water up. There are two options that we had. Both of these products are owned by Reclaim, which is an Australian company. The Reclaim, which is the one in the far left with the condenser on the ground, that is built. The condenser is built in Japan. The tanks are made in Australia. The remotes are made here in Melbourne. Okay, it comes with 10 years full parts and labor, and ranges anywhere from 260 liters to 400 liters, and you can have two options. We can have glass lined, or you can have stainless steel. Okay, it has the highest warranty out of. I'll get into warranties on the next slide, but it's not the highest warranties out of all of them, and the condenser's got a 6-year warranty on it. The Apricus, also owned by Reclaim, but they have a factory in China to keep the cost down. They brought that in. It's an all-in-one unit. The one uses, 800 watts. So think of 8 100-watt light bulbs is how much it will cost you to heat water up with the Reclaim, and it will heat your water up at a rate of 110 liters an hour. So within 30 minutes, you will have enough water to have a shower and do your dishes and things like that. And with the Apricus, this one has 260 liters, and it will heat your, and it uses 18 100-watt light bulbs. So 1800 watts round about there on average, to heat your water up. So they're extremely efficient. Okay?
We can run the hot water 37 times by during the day. Just similar with the reframe units on a timer to run during the day.
Yes.
What is all from the water.
Yeah.
Emergency. Will it really?
Absolutely. So just to be clear, we do set it to work off the solar, okay? And what I mean by work off the solar, whenever there's peak solar excess, we set the timer to heat so that excess gets eaten up by the heating and cooling, the heating of the heat pumps or the water inside of it. If you've got teenagers, which happens quite often with all the people we chat to, or you have loads of family over a Christmas period, and you're worried about the water running out, it's not going to wait till tomorrow to heat up. As it feels that there's a huge excess going, it will heat up at that time. You can even boost it if you really want to. You can set it to eco. There's a whole lot of different settings on there. But generally, for a house of 6, it will just time it and be able to provide enough water so that it charges and heats up during the... You have to really use a lot of water. But the crystal,
for
the clay is one, the COP, so the heating rate is 1 unit and you get 5 units out of it. Oh, 110 liters every hour from start, from cold. I'm talking about when you first install it, it will do 110 liters an hour.
So,
Take you 4 hours? Yeah. And just to get it started. Just to give you an idea, outside of these two, the general rating is anywhere from 30 to 50 liters an hour. So they do that in half an hour. So just to give you a comparison of the average across heat pumps. Good question. Why would you choose glass over stainless steel? You don't have to monitor the water in a glass line tap. So depending on the impurities in the water, wherever you are, a steel tank, the glass tank has an anode, a sacrificial anode, which takes all that up. Where with a stainless steel tank, you don't have that. And you've got to monitor the water that's going into it. Most people choose the glass lined because 10 years warranty on those is perfectly fine. Okay, it's more of a personal preference if you decide to do the stainless steel. Same thing goes for the Daikin and the Fujitsu, which is what they offer, which is what we offer in the Solar Savers program. Same thing, uses a condenser from the outside, and this is by far the most efficient way to heat and cool your property, whether it be in a lounge or in the bedrooms, wherever you decide to place them. You've got a lot more control over them because you don't have to heat the entire house when you don't want to. So it's just you and your wife staying at home, and the kids come over, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 times a year with all the grandkids. You don't have to heat the whole house up when you're not there, but when you're there, you can heat. When everybody's home, you can heat it up. So you can manage the heat much better that way. Also, it's just efficient because it uses the condenser. Remember, 1 unit of power in, 4 to 5 units of power out. It's just a lot more efficient to get your home heated and cooled through that. The 2 products that they used here are fantastic. They've got a great track record, and they've got good warranties that come into play as well.
What's the difference between the old reverse cycle air conditioners for the new one?
It's just how efficient. A couple of differences. You asked, what's the difference between an old split system and a new one? It's the gas that gets used inside. Everything now is natural gases, so that if anything does happen, put it in an enclosed piping system that heats and cools. So it's natural gases. And the way that those condensers work, the efficiency levels are just unheard of. It's really, really efficient. So it's just doing the job at a better rate.
Well, your old system could be using a lot more power.
Yes, absolutely. And that is why the Victorian government offer reward systems through the VICs, which means that even if you have an old split system, that will reward you to remove that and replace it with a more efficient system. And these are some of the most efficient that you get on the market, which is, again, the reason why it's coming.
You have to remove your gas system to get that benefit?
No.
So you can have both?
You could have both systems. Most don't want to because the reward to remove your gas is so high when it comes to Victorian that almost pays for one of the systems to have it done. So I haven't had a single person keep both, if I'm being very honest. But it can be done if someone wanted to.
And still right the bit.
No, you have to remove the gas to get it in for tar. Yeah. I would consider overtake. Maybe, what do we know? 2024, 2018, 2019 below. I'd consider these to be the products that are right now. Anything that's 5-6 years older, you would get a benefit from it. Be something for you to think about. Anything over 10 years is, I would say yes every single time. But it would be, again, we discover all those things. If we feel the one that you've got, whatever that might be, if we feel it's still doing the job, we're not going to tell you to swap. But, if it's a minuscule amounts, but the whole point here is to benefit you, not to just get you to do something just because you have to, So we do go through all of those meticulously with you and then decide together on what's the best plan for you moving forward, instead of just being like, oh, you should do it because you have to. It's nothing like that. And most of the times, you'll know. When someone's sitting, they'll be like, oh, okay, this thing's right. It's getting a bit long in the tooth, It's 8 or 9 years. I know something's up. And that's just an honest conversation we'll have with each other. Okay? And again, we provide amongst the best warranties in the solar industry. I think that was one of the favorable things of coming across to us, is that we have an extremely good track record when it comes to customer service, doing exactly what we say. If you just go do a little bit of homework on us, and I implore you to go read our reviews, please, so that it's not just coming from me. You will notice that as a company, we do exactly what we say on the tin. The warranties that you get through the Solar Savers program is amazing. You get, for every year that you service the system, you can get a guarantee of the power output. That means that for 10 years, the power that's been promised to you can receive. There's 10-year warranties on the inverters, up to 25 years warranty on the panels. And then there's an outstanding 15-year workmanship warranty. We've been installing solar, electrifying homes since the turn of the century, going on to 25 years now. And that's just us doing that part of the industry. We know what our workmanship does. We know what stands the test of time in products. We understand what our guys are capable of doing, and our ladies, what they're all capable of doing. And you just won't find 15 years workmanship warranty anywhere else within this industry. And we're very proud.
So your inverter's affected by the amount of doubt on, let's say, the western wall, facing wall?
Yes.
The hot, that does affect them.
Yes.
Do notice a lot around where they've been mounted right next to the switchboard and popping all the heat.
That is, I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's not something I could say. Yes, we would monitor that for you. If your general rule of thumb is you want your inverter next to your switchboard, if that is flat bang north and it is going to get all the sun all day long, it can do the job. Don't get me wrong, the inverters will be able to last. It doesn't matter where you put them. They'll be able to do the job in the blistering sun for the allocated amount of time. Do we want it to only last the 12 years that it's been warranted for? No. We'll get awnings for it. Maybe there's a better location on the south side, which is the nicest side to do it. Sometimes on the east. Most people end up putting it in their garages, because we're future-proof. We want to be able to put an electric vehicle charger in the future. We want a battery we want to be able to do. So all of these conversations we're going to have, and the location of the inverter to us is one of the most paramount things that you can do. Because if you in 5 years' time get back to me and be like, all right, I'm ready for a battery, I'm not going to worry about whether that battery is going to be cooking in the sun all day. I want to just put it in a place where I know, that it will be beneficial for you. So those are all things that will come in. But yeah, some people have decided to do that, and that's their prerogative, I guess.
What's the size of the inverter?
Depending on what the energy needs. So the question is, what's the size of the inverter? Depending on what your house's energy needs and what your plan is.
You've got to be putting the figures on your house to cook cut.
Or again, all depending on how big your roof is, or how much energy you're using. I've never had someone phone me and say, we've got too much solar. It's never been that big. So the larger rule of thumb is, the larger you can go, the better it is. Generally, it's as large as you can go that can fit within your financial constraints. That is really where we go. We've got to marry the two together very, very well. Yes? That's it.
And the inverter in my house now, red box is on one side, then it's now stood close to the side.
That's on.
When you put it in the garage, then it's
Yes.
to the most.
So the question is, if I've got my meter outside and my switchboard is either inside the house, which we won't put it next to, or it's in the garage where you can put it next to, where would you place the inverter? You'd place it as close to the main switchboard as you possibly can. You just can't do it in the house. We'll create it. We'll do something else for that. But if your switchboard's in your garage and the battery's out, and your meter's outside, we focus on the main switchboard.
those developed with effect of that figure optical and six offshore solar rate. We the justification was to then everything the efficiencies of the efficiency of the solar can maximize the utilization of the theory your country will found to with this rate is that more impact but the more I need to see overstate the solar.
Not even a market. So the question is, can you oversize your inverters? So the reason you oversize is for two reasons. Okay.
Oversize, you undersize the inverter well is so.
Yeah, the term, I'm just saying for the calendar, the term is actually called oversizing. So what it means is if I have a 5 kilowatt inverter and I put 6 kilowatts of solar on, will that affect my warranty? No, you can oversize. Solar edge can be oversized up to 300%, depending on what its battery is. So very simply, in the mornings, when there's no light, you can capture a lot more energy with a bigger footprint, and you can work through that. But so you will always be able to oversize it. But I think I just want to get through this, and then we can answer all the questions and then later. Okay. So these are the products that we've got over here. Tank warranties, 10 years for the glass line, 15 years for the stainless steel. Heat pumps and controller warranties are 7 years standard with 8 years on the Wi-Fi. And those are the products that you get to choose from. And then back to Samira.
Thank you so much. There will be a section of questions and answers as well. So that will be right at the end. So if you did have any questions, please keep them in mind, because I'm going to be inviting Raymond back up to go through those. So let's just quickly go through the rebates that are available. Now, I know that this is a lot of information. So please know when you do register for the Solar Savers program and you do come through to us, we do, as Raymond did mention, we do a discovery session with you. We discover all about you and your needs. Every single person is different. Every home is different. So we sit down, discuss that with you, understand your requirements, and then tailor design that system for you. And anything when it comes to even rebates or the product, everything will be discussed with you, okay? So please know that very transparent. So if you've missed anything, we'll go through it again during that time. But let's just quickly go through the rebates that are available. We have the small scale technology certificates, so the STCs. This is a point of sale discount. And you'll automatically see this being generated on your proposal. Basically, these are for renewable energy systems. It's just an incentive if you are installing those, so things like solar. The next one there is Solar Victorian rebate. So you have two different things that come from the Solar Victoria rebate here. You've got one, which is a $1,400 rebate. And then the second is a $1,400 interest-free loan that you're welcome to opt into. Next one down, we're really excited about this because this is probably the biggest rebate that we've seen for batteries to date. So there is a interest-free loan that's available through Solar Victoria, which is $8,800. So it really assists with that upfront cost. So you can definitely opt into that. We have solar rebates for rental properties. Again, I think this is fantastic. If you are a landlord and you have tenants in your home, this is such a wonderful way to look after them and help them. Cost of living is so high, and you can leverage this rebate not once, twice every financial year. So if you have more properties in your portfolio, you can actually do two properties and leverage this rebate that's available, which is the $1,400. There's also an option for the interest-free loan, which is a $1,400 there as well. You got solar for community housing. This is for non-for-profit community housing providers. Again, $1,400 then. You've got solar for apartments. This, again, is an industry first. Prior to this, anybody that was in an apartment building was not able to leverage any form of rebates for solar. Okay, so it was only if you had just a home, not an apartment. So now they've got this available where you can get $2,800 per apartment building, per apartment, and up to $140,000 for the entire building. Okay, so if you know anybody that's in an apartment, or if you're living in an apartment building, know that you do have this opportunity. Now, there is a bit of a process behind this. So again, we have done this before. We can definitely assist you with this process and speak to your AGMs and so on. So we'll definitely go through that process if this is something that you would like to do. The next one down is VEEC, so Victorian Energy Efficiency Certificates. As Raymond mentioned, you can get this for your energy efficient appliances such as your split systems. Now, again, this all depends. The amount of VIX that you get is dependent on what actions you're taking. Okay, so if you're decommissioning a gas system in your home, you're going to get more rebates. Okay, they incentivize that, so you'll get more rebates. If you are just placing a split system in your home and not decommissioning, which you can do, you still do get a VIC. So one of these VICs, you still do get that, but it's a lesser amount. Okay. Again, we will go through all of this with you once we get to that time of doing the discovery and understanding what you want to do in your home. And then the last one here is the Solar Victoria hot water rebate. So it's 50% rebate of up to $1,000. So again, if it's over $2,000, you get that $1,000 rebate, and that's from Solar Victoria for your heat pump. So those are all the different types of rebates that are available. Again, I know it's a lot of information, so when you do get to us, we'll advise which ones are available for you. So just lastly, with the solution that's offered through the Solar Savers program, we're really lucky. There are so many benefits here. So you do, if you opt for a battery, you have blackout battery protection. Again, one thing Raina did mention when it comes to batteries, all of our batteries do have blackout protection, okay? And it's usually on your essentials. So things like your lights, your Wi-Fi, all of the batteries will allow you to back up if there is a blackout in your home. So if the grid goes down. So that is definitely something that we're able to do. Protection against price fluctuations. Now, the reason is because you have full transparency. You have your own independent renewable energy source of solar generating your own energy on your roof. So that allows you to control that energy usage. And because of that, you're reducing your bills. You have that protection against price fluctuations because you have that control. You have your reduction in your carbon footprint and help protect the environment. This is probably one of my biggest ones that I think touches home for me, because it is such a wonderful way for all of us to play a part of the future. You know, there's a lot we could potentially do, but if you just have solar generation on your own homes, that is reducing the carbon footprint and protecting the future generations and our planet. So it's a beautiful way to protect our environment. And again, you lower your energy bills. Now, as I mentioned again, everybody is very unique and different. When you come to us, we will analyze and assess your energy usage, your bills, and then tailor that system to get all these benefits. Okay, so that's what the program offers. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand you back to Anna, that's going to take you through the next few slides and the process of registering. Thank you.
Thank you. So I hope you answered the broad questions after this, but if you are interested in getting a quote and chatting to them, the best way is to hop onto our website and click on to get quote. It was the homeowners, and then you just choose that Maroondah City Council there, and it takes you through our form. The application form does ask for some like pictures of your switchboard, your meter, and also if you can upload your electricity bill. If you can't do that at the time, that's fine. We can do it a bit later on, but it's always helpful to have all the information at the start. And then that'll go through to Specialised Solar, and they'll contact you within about 2 business days just to work out a time that suits you to have that discovery call where you can sit down and work out what you'd like to do. So that's the best way to log in. And then, as I said, you'll have your consultation, and then they'll give you a no obligation quote. We'll go through that. Then what is great about this is that on the quote, you're bound to have a lot of questions on there. So Specialised will then also set up another time where they'll actually present with the presentation, and they'll sit down with you. If either do it on video call if you like, or just over the phone. You can ask all the questions and go through the quote and find out this may not be for you, you want something else. So that's great there. Okay.